Go straight into it.
Okay.
So explain to me how you got involved in contacting NABSS and the interaction with NABSS and any outcomes that have come out of this.
Okay. Well, firstly, I must thank you for this. When I started Children of the Sun 5 years ago, you reached out to me actually in Birmingham. Yeah, you actually reached out to me, I think, and said, you know, am I aware of this resource? And immediately I registered with you. Well, you put your name, my group, in your database. Thank you. Yeah. All right. And yeah, many people have contacted me saying they've seen your information.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice to know. I don't get that kind of feedback. I don't know.
Oh,
this is what I want to do. I want to find out what kind of success rate has been.
Please forgive me for
it's not just you, it's everybody. I just don't know. That's why I'm doing this.
So, okay, well, okay. I must say, each year I've had 2 or 3 people that have seen us listed on your database and have contacted us directly from that. So yeah, I must admit, because I've just been so busy, I've not engaged as much as I would like to. I know that you're offering a great resource, not just in terms of the database, but also the additional information. I do watch your videos when they come up on YouTube and so on. But yeah, there's a lot more I could do in terms of interacting with yourself. My bad.
Don't worry. So what's the score with Children of the Sun now? What's the score? You open, close?
What's the score? Yeah, we're running a summer school at the moment, based in Winson Green. We have just a few children because of the COVID, so we've got to maintain social distancing and so on.
You're doing it face to face?
Yes, it's not virtual. They're there, all in person, and it's fantastic. We do the 2 meters apart thing. We have siblings sitting together, children that are on their own, have their own table, their own space, so we're able to maintain. It's a big hall, so we're able to maintain the 2 meters social distancing, and they've got a yard. They go out and they play.
That's handy.
And so that works. They're doing all the African history they can get. Lots of maths and science and literacy, lots of art, lots of mindfulness, STEM. So they're getting to go on the radio because we're based at a radio station as well. So they're getting to meet DJs, perform, well, read their poetry and communicate with the audience. And the feedback is good. They're absolutely loving it, and they're impeccably behaved and beautiful young people.
Glad to hear it.
As always, I'm so glad after 15 weeks of being away, you know, I'm so glad just to be able to etch out this little space for ourselves where we can just have a small group and do the things we've got to do. The work's got to continue, hasn't it?
All right. So when parents have sort of seen your details on the NABSS website, they've contacted you via, is it email or telephone or both?
They generally phone. I've had a couple of emails in the past. I've also had some connect me via my Facebook page, Children of Sun Saturday School page.
You're very active on social media. You're very active on, especially Facebook. You're very
I tend to be a little bit obsessive with that, don't I?
Hey, it's all about information about the schools, what it's about.
It's just keeping it flowing, just keeping it there, you know. It's I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of our parents find out via word of mouth. But as I say, your database has been invaluable, really, in terms of informing parents. And also, I've referred parents to check out the database, your group. If we're not able to provide what they're looking for, then they've been able to find. Yeah, they've also been able to find the appropriate group. I've had parents from other areas call me. And I have tagged you a few times actually, where parents have contacted me wanting, say, a provision in Tottenham or somewhere, and
Oh,
I've
brilliant! Thank you.
forwarded them to you. So yeah,
Because
it's
one thing I'll say is that there shouldn't be any supplementary schools having a waiting list. Because a lot of them used to have wait lists. And they used to brag about, oh, we've got a waiting list of 20 people. I'm like, why have you got people waiting for you when there's other schools, but there's a place? You know, what's the point? So
okay.
that I didn't get, but I mean, I understand why, but no schools should have a waiting list. They should
Not at all.
recommend another school using the database.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And I've used, because we can't be everything to everyone. So there are people in various other areas. People who are also interested in homeschooling, and they just want to find out about some of the resources where they can sort of make contact with, because it's not just the supplementary. I notice that you focus on. There is a resource there
Yeah,
for.
but we had a good conference with the Black Child Agenda yesterday, on Saturday the 8th.
Yes, indeed, which I saw with Sheriff Phoenix, and it was fantastic.
And we had a
I've
good
got to watch it again.
It's there on YouTube. There on YouTube.
I know.
Yourself. But basically, I mean, we did have a good.
Well done. Can I just say well done to you all? It's got to be done.
Yes.
It's got to be seen.
But what
so
came out of the
crucial
conversation?
right now.
Yeah, what came out of the conversation is that we don't actually have our own organisation or in home education. We had people of colour. It was Black UK home educators, and they changed it to people of colour because I think some of the mixed heritage people were upset that the word black was used, and they're Jew heritage. So they changed it to people of colour. But then the person dealing with admin shut it down rather than allowing somebody else to take over, because I would have taken it over. I'm trying to get into the group. I'm like, where are you? And she shut it down. She's not answering her phone. So like I said to Cheryl, and who else was there? Cheryl. Yeah. Oh yeah, the lady from Black Parents.
Yes, I can't remember her name.
Yeah. So basically, we have to get another one set up, and a national African Heritage Home Education website and network. And I'll try and do it. I've got a lot on my plate, but I'll try and get it done. What I do have a list of resources on the NABSS website as it is, but we do need an active organisation helping people from our background with home education. It needs to be done. So we'll see.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, I'd like to get involved in helping in some way. I do have a lot on my plate also, but I'm sure getting together to support you in providing this for the community is important. So I'm on board.
Because we complain so much, then we do so little, or we don't do it together.
I know.
So I mean, we're here. Tell us why Children of the Sun was set up. When did you set up and why?
Okay, July 2015. Massive lack in the community of
especially Birmingham.
So Birmingham. There was a Saturday school running at 104. The Pan-African organisation.
A long time ago, didn't it?
Yeah, it was closed, and efforts were made to try and get things started, but it wasn't to be.
It seems like everybody was waiting for 104, isn't it?
Say that again.
Everybody's waiting for 104.
Yeah, and the needs were growing. I've been with 104 for about 15 years, working in Saturday school and coordinating Saturday.
With LD Beanie Brown.
With Beanie Brown, the elder Beanie Brown.
How is he?
Yes.
Is he?
And he's doing well. He's on the mend after his, his health issue, should I say? He's on the mend. The last I heard. Yeah. So, but yeah, many thanks to Beanie, because I was basically trained by Beanie. I was taken into 104, welcomed in as a young lady. Loved doing Saturday school, summer school. Going through the CARDA training, all the guidance I received from Beanie, Elder Beanie, and the elders there at the time. Well, it's enabled me to be able to run this now, following the same sort of structure and principles that were set out. It is quite a traditional Saturday school. So we do the maths, English, science support, African history, And then there are the other elements, the self-defense, the mindfulness, the life skills, the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we partner with other groups in the community.
Such
The
as?
languages. There's the Bundu Congo. They come in and they teach Kikongo, Brother Kessa,
Nice.
from that organisation. With our drama, we work through Strawberry Arts, and other individuals come in and deliver.
That's
There's
good.
Rob STEM classes and so on, you know, sewing, just so many things really. And also we do have members of the community donating regular amounts, and that all adds up and that helps us to keep our fee low, you know. So we only charge, for years we've only been charging £5 really for the 4 hours from 10 till
That is
2.
very good. The average is like £10, so £5 brilliant.
Yeah, so you know, we want to be as accessible to the children that need us the most in Birmingham, you know. So it's been 5 fantastic years, and we're truly blessed to have received so much support from the community and the families coming in and supporting, you know, entrusting us with the children as well. And we've seen children just grow from strength to strength from being within the environment. Everyone volunteers as well. So, you know, I mean, we cover maybe travel if we have it. We've launched a GoFund actually, because it's very difficult to operate on that level and sustain ourselves, you know. I mean, so we have now, after 5 years, decided to launch a GoFundMe.
Why not?
Yeah.
What I do need from you, I need you to actually send me stuff by email, because I don't always get the chance to check your Facebook page. Because
I'll do
I've got
that.
like 53 groups to keep on going through. Plus, I've got to send my newsletter. So I really do need you to actually send me stuff by email, and that way I can get stuff onto the newsletter.
Yes, I
if
will
you can.
do.
I know you got a lot
I
in your
will
plate,
do.
or you can do it via WhatsApp.
Yes, I'll do that. Yes, so that's us. Tell us more about you and how this all started. I'm turning the tables on you now. This valuable resource that you're providing.
1993, I think it was. I volunteered at
Yes.
the Nubian African Community Sector School. You know, by the Kwaku.
Yes, I
Yes.
do.
At the time, they were based in.
Garvey Village, Kwaku.
Who?
Garvey Village, Kwaku?
Yes, Garvey Village Kwaku.
Yes.
Yes, same
Okay,
one. So yeah,
yes.
they were based in Stockwell, in the Brixton area.
Mm-hmm.
I was as a chef, and I had my weekends free, so I was listening to Genesis Radio, and they were asking for volunteers in the sector school, and I thought, okay. And I was just coming into some form of consciousness. I'm thinking, like, I'm always hearing problems about underachieving black children, all this complaining, but I always want to find solutions. So I thought to myself, I'm free. Let me go in to a sector school and just help out. I got free time. But when I went in there, I learned so much myself. I just went in there as a volunteer to help the teachers teach, like a teaching assistant. And I learned so much myself. They were teaching, 4 and 5 years algebra and writing their names in hieroglyphics. And I thought to myself, you know what? When I have my children, they're coming to the school. So it's like 8 or 9 years later, I had my own children, and the age to come to the school, and I sent them back to the same school. They were in Brixton, then they moved to Croydon, and we was doing like martial arts in Tottenham with Mashufa, coming home at 11:30 at night, and then getting up at 6 o'clock to go to their Saturday school in Croydon. So one of the CBAs, one of the teachers, felt sorry for me. He said, "Look, brother Nia, you're traveling so far and you're getting up so early in the morning, but there's another Saturday school, you live in Kilburn." I'm like, really?
Okay.
I didn't think there was any more. I didn't know there was any more. So I went to this one in Kilburn, which was the Imhotep School of Knowledge, and my children went there for a while. And we went to a 100 Black Men event when Tony Warner was there. And when we went to the event, I saw another 6 Saturday schools.
Wow.
I thought, okay, there's quite a few dotted around now. And I was a single parent all that time. So I'm going to parents' classes, I'm hearing complaints about my child's not doing well, schools are racist, and blah, blah. I mean, bare complaints. But I've seen for myself how well our children do in a supplementary school, learning so much stuff at such an early age. I'm saying to parents, why don't you just bring them to a Saturday school? And they always said I can't find one. So I thought, let me contact these schools, find out where they are, Google them, use the internet, find out where they are. And I thought, let me put them on the website and let parents find it. And the rest is history. Because
There you
to me,
go.
it's about sharing information. Because word of mouth wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
And then the schools were
Yeah.
closing down. Austerity cuts came in, and schools lost their funding, and all started shutting down. So you know what I mean?
That's it. That's it. That's it. Well, hopefully this will encourage more Saturday schools, more people to get together and create, because there aren't enough really, and there needs to be a resurgence of the movement, really, I say,
It
in
seems to be
terms
now with all the Black Lives Matter and George Floyd stuff going on now. There has been a resurgence because my phone's been going crazy. I mean,
Okay.
a couple of weeks ago, on one Monday, I was expecting a phone call at 9 o'clock in the morning. I literally jumped up my bed in my underwear to take the phone
Yeah.
call and sat on the step in my underwear. I didn't leave that step until 7 p.m. because the calls just constantly coming in.
Wow.
All people wanted to sack the schools or looking for sack the schools.
Yeah.
So the resurgence is here, but the thing is sustaining it. And
It's true.
what I'd like to see is our black businesses supporting our supplementary schools, like sponsoring either a child's play
Yes.
or sponsoring a school itself. So I'd
Yeah,
like to
that's the
see that as
next
a
stage.
future. We
That's the
can't
next
keep on,
stage.
yeah, we can't keep on with this begging bowl attitude with the government because they can give it and they can pull it at any minute. So we need sustained
Yeah.
investment from our community. So what about with the Children of the Sun? Is any involvement from the local community businesses and stuff like
Not um
or have you asked any?
yeah, from time we have during 5 years we have had sort of short-term support from local businesses, one-off support in terms of providing resources, or there's a business, Blacklink UK. They donated a coach to take us to, where did we go? Western-super-Mare, which was like
Beautiful.
£600 worth of journey
That's
and
what we
getting
need.
in. You know what I mean? So, and others, yeah, resources and books and so on, that's all fantastic because that's the bulk of the costs really that we have to face,
Absolutely.
And a lot of individuals donate on a regular basis. That helps to cover the cost of the room hire and other overheads as well, They all tend to want to remain anonymous.
Which is
So,
fine.
but in terms of business, Blacklinks UK, they're a business organisation supporting young people in the West Midlands trying to get into business. So they offer training courses and so on. I actually attended a training course, told them what I was doing, and they kindly offered to sponsor the trip for our children, which was lovely. So we want more of that. We do want more of
Yeah.
that. It is
So,
difficult. I know it's a very challenging time.
yeah. So when I do the NABS
We
events, when I do NABS
yeah,
events, like do the awards and things like that, then the sponsors do come forward for that,
present,
but
yeah.
not for a constant running course, but they do come forward when it's necessary. So in terms of
Yeah.
when it comes to reopening in September, how are you going to be doing it?
Well, we're listening closely to the announcements COVID-wise. We're hoping we can still continue with a small number of children, maybe run 2 sessions, two separate venues. So we're catering for different groups of children in different areas, but we're not keeping children for 4 hours in one space.
So you got multiple venues.
We're in discussions at the moment, but
Okay.
that's one way forward that we're considering. Just got to be creative, really, in terms of
What about
continuing.
online?
We recognise that's an opportunity, but we do recognise the importance of having children together,
Yeah.
sharing. The social skills are important. So, I mean, if we're not able to continue, then we will go online. If we can't continue face to face,
Yeah.
but while we still have that opportunity, we're going to continue for as long as we can, practically, because children, they're painting, they're chatting, they're laughing.
I love the interaction. They do.
The interaction is so beautiful, and they have to practice those skills, and recognize the body language and the cues, and they have to be with each other. The children are social, really, and they do struggle. They're online quite a lot anyway with all the games and everything else. So I do intend
Not
to.
necessarily learning.
Not necessarily learning, and we don't want them to. It's a fantastic resource, the
Mm,
online facilities, but the face-to-face
yeah.
is
Keep it going for as long as we can.
as long as we can, yeah. But we have to do what we've got to do. It's a challenging time right now, and
Absolutely.
our children, they're falling so far behind, and we need to be there to provide that safety net in order to
Absolutely.
support them, you know, and it helps the parents too. We can't forget the parents who are also, they need that space also in terms of family stability and so on. It's nice for parents to get a little bit of a breather, sometimes know that their children are in good hands, getting all the stuff that they're unable to provide for their children. Do you know what I mean? Not all
Mhm.
parents are able to work with the national curriculum or teach African history in the way we do. Do you know what I mean?
Do you
Because they
get any
haven't got.
parents that stay or volunteer?
Yes. Oh gosh. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because so like
Yes.
some Saturday schools say, look, at least once a month, parents must
Yes.
stay and
Yes.
learn what the children are learning, so they can help them at
Yeah.
home or even learn for themselves. Because I learned so much myself by actually staying and helping. Because
Yeah. Me too.
when my children went to Imtech School of Knowledge, I stayed, helped out.
Yeah.
And I learned, I carried on learning because my learning at school was so I underachieved badly at school, underachieved. I was the clown of the class, and I learned so much by staying in the class. And when I get phone calls from parents asking about supplementary schools, I do recommend that you go there and at least once or twice a month, just stay in the class and help out and learn more for yourself. Especially keeping
Yeah.
up to date with the current curriculum, which is so complicated.
It is. It is. And we do have workshops, and we do provide. We do have professionals come in and advise the parents where needed,
That's
guide
good.
them through the curriculum. We have history projects from time to time where children and parents are able to learn together, you know, and times like Kwanzaa, we have workshops where parents get involved, learn about what Kwanzaa is and so. Because unlike a lot of Saturday schools, our parents don't necessarily come from the Pan-Africanist
Yeah.
community. So a lot of the information they're getting, they might be in their 30s getting it for the first time, hearing about Marcus Garvey for the first time, and
Hmm.
so on. So they're learning alongside their children. So, and we always have a sharing session at the end. So the children are able to share. We share the books with the parents so they can also see what resources are available, and they sometimes we order books in and sell them to the parents, so that it just makes it easy for them. We can order things in. I must mention Andrew Lindo as well from Black History Activity Books,
Oh yeah.
who donated. Yeah, he donated some books to us as well. We use. Are you aware of Andrew Lindo? He sells.
No, because what I do have on the NABSS website is a list of African heritage book retailers. So if you send me
Okay.
his details, I'll put a link
Yes.
on, because this is going on YouTube, so I'll put the link on here as well.
Okay. Okay. Um, Andrew Lindo held one of the biggest book launches in Birmingham, I think. It's at the Bingley Hall. Oh gosh, a couple of thousand people, free event. And it was all about Black history. Queen Diambi from the Congo came. It was a spectacular event. It's held, I think, two so far. And yeah, so there's a lot happening. Lots
For that
happening.
information, I'll look him up totally.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what about the mainstream schools? Do you have much interaction with mainstream schools?
Um, Not really. I must admit we don't. I've had we're based at the Broadway, and the head has been supportive. Well, initially, he gave us you could say, foot up in terms of allowing us that space and resources 5 years back. But
That's
now
good.
that we've found our feet and so on, and schools, they have their own issues to deal with, really. So we're kind of on our own. I've had teachers that work within the system work with us, um, provide us with advice, consult with us in terms of the curriculum,
Hmm.
and they volunteer.
It
And
helps,
that's been
doesn't it?
good. That's helpful, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. and often resources. You know, a lot of schools at the end of term, they've got a lot of stuff they need to truck. So, you know,
Hey.
it's a great time come July when we get a box of books. I'm like, these things were heading for the skip, and they're like brilliant dictionaries and stuff. You know, the stuff they throw away in schools. It's amazing,
I don't know.
really.
There needs someone to take them up, but that's good if they bring it to you. That's brilliant.
Yes, yes. So we have a good number of people looking out for us because it is all about the children, and
Absolutely.
we don't want them to continue failing at the levels they are failing at, you know, and so that's important. We work. It does take a village, you know. We have to work together. I'm not on my own doing this, you know. I am working alongside others supporting.
You're gonna name them, beat them up.
Oh, as I said, there's Michelle Perry. She's an educational psychologist with her own practice over there in Oldbury. Sharon Warmington, she is an
Sharon, yeah.
educational consultant.
She does the
She,
parent governors, black parent governors.
that's right, yeah. And
Yeah.
gosh, she donated resources to us that we're still using. So much that she donated, and it was just great to have her support, her encouragement, and you know, look after us with the stationery and so on, the folders that we
Excellent.
need. That so much that we still have enough to cover our class right now. I mentioned Kessa from the Dearborn du Congo,
Yeah.
Michelle Hemmings from Strawberry Arts. Help me. Terrible. There's teacher Stevie and Kessa from sorry, not Kessa, Kenty from the PACM, who volunteers their time not only on a Saturday, but they also visit students during exam times to provide that extra support to our anxious students during O levels and so on. Yeah, so
That's good. So that's the village. It's a good little village.
it's a village. Please, if there's anybody I've forgotten, I've just had a little bit of a brain freeze, but
I know I'll put
yeah.
you on the spot, so forgive.
Oh, I know. But to everyone contributing, and with the GoFundMe as well, we've only just launched that 2 weeks ago, and you know, we have had quite a handful of donators. It's slow starting, but to those that
Send it
have,
to me. I'll get it out there for you. That's what I do.
yeah. All right then. To those that have donated, I think we've had about 6 or so, and it's we've had £160, which is wonderful. You know, for individuals donating a tenner, a fiver, £20, £50. I thank you all because you know it's all crucial in helping us
People make
sustain
it possible.
ourselves. As a self-funded group, you know, it's not about begging. It took me a long time to get that out of my head that it's not begging to bring the community
It's what
into
you
support.
deserve. It's what you
That's
deserve.
right. That's right. That's right.
So, you know,
And, you know,
I did an article in The Voice a few years ago, and I said it should be, as far as I'm concerned, it should be compulsory for all our children to be going to supplementary schools, and it should be an honour for our black businesses to be bragging about which Saturday school they're supporting.
yes.
They should be
And you
competing
know,
with each other.
yeah. Well, you know, we have to put that out there. Really, we do. And I must admit, I haven't really put myself out there like that.
I
You
know
know, I've
exactly
been.
run around chasing after you, didn't I?
Oh,
Yeah.
I know, and you know, I'm quite a shy one actually. I must admit, if I need to step up now. Do you know what I mean? I've been so fortunate, and I must admit, I've kind of stayed within a comfort zone because Broadway Academy have looked after us. Initially, when we started, they didn't even charge for the space. You know, they just sort of let us do our thing.
That's a good
And
start you need, isn't it?
yeah, you know, Broadway Academy in Birmingham, the coordinator of the community project, Owen Broomfield as well. He was very supportive in terms of letting us have that space and looking after us.
Yeah, because premises is a big issue with a lot of supplements.
That's right.
Whether it's a cost or finding one.
Yeah. yeah, times have changed, but we need to put pressure on these organisations,
Hmm.
churches, schools, community centres,
Especially the
do
churches.
this.
What kind
Yeah.
of, do you get any support or involvement from the black churches in the area?
Not at this stage. Not at this stage. I have been speaking to Reverend Eve about doing something together for the community. We're yet to formulate that, but she has been supportive of the project. She's always allowed me to come in and speak to her members, the
Okay,
congregation,
that's
about
good.
what we do.
Hmm.
And yeah, and also ACMC, where we're now based. They run New Star Radio. That's Birmingham's
ATMC
local.
is who?
Yes, African Caribbean Millennium Centre.
All right.
Very Wilson Green. Yes, and they run. They house the New Star Radio, and that's the only licensed station in Birmingham, actually, for the West, covering the West Midlands. I
Wow.
think it's the first licensed African Caribbean radio station.
I'm sure. I'm
So
sure the voice. I'm sure. Was it not the voice? What was the one we had before? I can't remember what they're called now. Well, yeah. Okay. I think there was
ECRL?
one before. Oh,
Are you thinking? I don't think there was a licensed one,
there
a
was. 'Cause
legal.
it was London, and then they moved. They did a version in Birmingham. I can't remember who. Choice FM.
Choice FM.
Didn't they go to
Okay,
Birmingham? This is
okay,
going back some time now.
okay. Well, you mentioned that you started this in '93. When you, sorry, you started in your
2000.
journey in
Yeah,
'93.
my journey. Yeah.
And it's around the same time that I did as well. And when I started at African Caribbean Self Health Organisation,
Sure.
so I think I don't remember Choice. Forgive me, I absolutely
Yeah,
do
I'm
not
sure they had
remember.
Choice in Birmingham as well.
Okay, but officially
But
anyway,
right
New
now
Style,
you have one.
yes, is the only one, and they've been very supportive. They've
That's good.
given us a nice space. Um, and everyone's looking after us. Children have been on the radio a couple of times with their poetry and so on, and it's just great to be working with our own in that sense, you know,
Of
working
course.
in that sort of hub, in that
It's a show
environment.
of unity that we'll keep on asking
That's
for.
right, that's right.
And
So
it's there, but in small pockets.
yeah, so you know, unless we ask, unless we approach um these venues, we don't know what we'll find. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
It's just ask, ask, and ask again. If they turn you down the first time, ask again. If they want to tell you it's £25 an hour for a room, and you want to, you know, don't tolerate that. You know what I mean? Name and shame. Because I know I went to several organisations in Birmingham, churches, community organisations, and they want to tell me about, oh, we're £25 an hour, but we'll do your community rate, £20 an hour. I'm like, I'm supposed to pay £80
Mm.
for 4 hours, and that's the best you can do, you know. And in a sense, it just shuts us out. It just,
Yeah.
you know, so there needs to be a sense of responsibility towards the community rather than have a building there empty for the sake of,
Exactly. You know, there's not,
you
not many
know,
churches around on Saturday morning, and they're nice buildings. They're well kept. You know,
gorgeous, gorgeous, you
beautiful
know. So
buildings. It's a shame that
we,
it's a shame that we can't
yeah.
utilize these buildings. But you know, we'll move forward. I did a conference in 2014. It was African Heritage Saturday Schools and the black churches. And
Mhm.
you know, I invited the pastors down to come to Birmingham University to discuss why the black churches are not getting involved with supplementary schools. Why are you not allowing supplementary schools to use your buildings? I think there's seven people turned up from that. Keith Davison from the Seventh Day Adventist, he came down, and he quite. Who was the one from the brother from Black Boys Can?
Oh, I don't.
He's a Birmingham man. He's gonna kill me for getting his
Paul
name.
George? No, not Paul George.
Trevor is it Brooks? Brooks.
Okay,
Stephen
I don't
Brooks.
know his name.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Stephen Brooks. So yeah, he hosted it for me. We spoke to Keith Davison from Seventh Day Adventist. They've actually got quite a few full-time schools, and they've got a couple in Birmingham, I hear. But I can't get
Yeah,
the
Half a
details.
Bell's one of them. Half a Bell is the school they're known for running successfully.
Mm,
It was a private school, but it's now open to all, you know. And
okay.
Yeah, that's good. And in fact, talking about churches, I did have someone from the Seventh Day reach out to me, offering me space and so on to do something, you know.
Good.
So
That's
yeah,
really
they're
good.
out there. They're out there. And yeah, offered me the space for next to nothing, really, you know, recently. So yeah, it's just keep on, keep on. I think more and more of us in various areas, because there's just so many children to
Yeah,
work with, and there
I've
aren't enough. As a Saturday school, we can only take so much in our space
yeah, because I'm getting people
comfortably.
calling me from Huddersfield,
Yes,
Brighton,
yeah.
and also where was it? Liverpool. I found two in
Liverpool,
Manchester, which is really good.
yes.
Lots of people asking for Manchester. I couldn't find one for ages. I found two now. So
What's
all
happening in
over.
Liverpool?
I've got
Mm,
none in Liverpool at the moment.
there
You've
isn't,
got a
because
bit.
someone
You've got a bit of a Scouse
contacted
accent
me.
there, haven't you?
Hey, Scouse.
Yeah.
Not at all, not at all. I've never
Ah.
heard that. But Brummy, and everything else. But
Okay.
someone contacted me from Liverpool
Yeah.
and said that she was prepared to come to Birmingham because there was nothing
Wow.
in. I said she should contact you and see what's going on,
Yeah,
because
because I've already got two people sitting now. I've told those two people, say, look, I put them in touch with each other and say, look, you need to galvanise people in Liverpool and set
yeah,
something up amongst yourselves. I can't be running up to Liverpool and setting things up for you.
yeah,
You have to galvanise the people around you. So yeah, send me the person's details. I can put
yeah,
them in touch with each other and they can work with each other. And that's the
yeah.
way forward.
I'm
But Marcia,
glad there's
Marcia,
this resurgence. It's so
yeah,
important. There was a time when I was setting this up, a lot of people said to me, there are no Saturday schools because there's no need for it. It's no longer required. Believe it or not. And I initially thought I'd be sitting there with 2, 3 children. When we opened, there were like 30 children. We just didn't know. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
So there are always naysayers. There are always those that think, you know, I think everything that's happening now should really show us just how important this is. If they didn't know that before, if they didn't recognise the issues before, you know, children are aware of what's going on as well.
yeah,
They also need a space where they can express the stuff they're experiencing, the stuff they need to process in a safe environment. You know, some might say to me, I've had it a lot. I've had it said a lot. How can you run an environment for African Caribbean children only, or you know, run a program that's devised? Isn't that divisive? Why don't you open it up to everybody? Don't you think Asian and European children need to know about our history? But I do believe at this moment in time, we do need to focus on the needs of our own children.
absolutely.
You know, everyone else, no one has to explain why they need to take care of their own. If a Polish person opens a school taking care of the needs of Polish children,
Which they
no
do.
one's going to say, yeah, no one's going to say that's racist or
Yep,
that's. And you know, I've had this a lot from our own people actually, who
yep.
feel that, you know, we've got to be sort of apologizing for the fact that we're looking after our own, and it's not
Everybody else can do their
racist.
own thing, but only black people have to
Yeah,
be inclusive.
yeah. Yeah, but the children value it. They value the space. They have a lot of questions. We still have children today coming in and their parents have sent them because this child put bleach in the bath and tried to scrub the brown off them. They thought the bleach would bleach them. Bleach,
This day and age, our children are still doing
household
that.
bleach. Children are still doing this. Children are still just hating the skin they're in. Children are still shaving their hair. Children are
Inferiority complex,
being
really heavy.
still yeah, a lot of children are still going to schools where they're the only black child
Yeah,
in an area. You know, more and more we find that's the case, and they have identity issues, so it is important they can explore, you know,
beautiful.
this.
Marcia, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Well overdue.